Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing awesome today. Today I'm going to be doing another Let's Critique It video. I didn't think I was really gonna be doing another one of these anytime soon. However, this particular video came across my feed, so of course I clicked on it and watched it, and I have to say I don't agree with everything in the video. So as you know, I'm a dietitian, and I am obviously passionate about nutrition, but I'm also passionate about providing correct information and not misleading people, especially when it comes to nutrition. So welcome again to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new, I am a mother to 2 little boys, and I'm also a registered dietitian with a master's degree in human nutrition. So good to have you here. So typically my channel is more focused on like motherhood topics, I guess, and nutrition as it relates to motherhood. But this particular video, whether you're a mom or not, I think you will glean something from this video. So this video has been done by Autumn Bates. She's a big YouTuber, and I believe she is a nutritionist. I know she has a master's in nutrition, but I don't know the details. You could check out her channel if you want to figure out more about her and everything. However, the title of this video is 5 Salad Mistakes That Are Causing You to Gain Weight. So without further ado, let's critique it. So right off the bat, the title, 5 Salad Mistakes That Are Causing You to Gain Weight. So that I highlighted that, causing you to gain weight. Really? Like, to me, that's just super clickbaity. It throws out red flags for me because I think like, oh, like what, am I making these 5 mistakes? And are these 5 mistakes really are causing me to gain weight? It's like, you're just like saying like these mistakes are causing you to gain weight. And it's like, not really, like, I don't think so. So that's where I'm like, okay, let's watch this video. Let's dive in and see what she's talking about, what she has to offer here. And if these mistakes truly are going to cause you to gain weight. Hey there, I just wanted to interject really quickly and just kind of touch on what actually causes weight gain, because I want you to keep this in your mind as we're watching the video together. So what actually leads to weight gain is excessive calorie intake. So if I'm consuming a ton of calories above what my body needs every day, over time, I'm going to gain weight. On the other end, if I'm consuming less calories than what my body needs to maintain its weight, every day, if I'm consuming in a calorie deficit or in a calorie deficit, over time, I will then lose weight. There's no food group, food item, food ingredient that is just gonna magically, like as you eat it, plop on a pound of body weight onto your body or whatever the case is, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start watching the video with you guys.
The first salad mistake that you're making that's causing you to gain weight is that you're completely forgetting about the protein. Especially if weight loss is your goal, getting adequate amounts of protein in at each meal is really important for achieving a body recomposition goal. Not to mention, getting enough protein helps to prevent snacking and sugar cravings because it helps to stimulate the satiety hormone peptide YY. And a lot of people are just eating these really big, beautiful green salads with a ton of veggies and not adding in any significant protein source. And just the broccoli in your salad is not going to cut it. This is often why I also see a lot of my clients and AM peeps who just use greens as a salad tend to have a sweet tooth right after the salad and need something like chocolate. So great protein sources that you can add to your salad to help achieve your weight loss goal would be something like tuna or salmon or tempeh. Rotisserie chicken is another one of my favorites for a pre-cooked option, which my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance.
Okay, so just chatting a little bit about forgetting to add enough protein to your salad. So I definitely agree with that right off the bat. We certainly need protein throughout the day to help our bodies maintain its muscle mass and do other various things within our bodies. However, I wanted to add a few little tidbits to what she said. So dietary protein also helps suppress the hunger hormone ghrelin. So ghrelin is known to increase our appetites. So another thing about protein is that it actually increases the dopamine levels in our bodies. So as we know, dopamine is the feel-good hormone. Dopamine boosts mood, motivation, and attention. It also helps regulate movement, learning, and emotional responses. So some other protein sources that she didn't mention include like hard-boiled eggs, cheese, quinoa, beans, nuts and seeds, as well as meat alternatives like Beyond Meat or corn or whatever other options are out there. So another thing that's actually important for us mamas, especially if you are breastfeeding, is that protein will actually help your bodies produce adequate breast milk and nutritious breast milk. So you actually need roughly about an additional 25 grams of protein per day to help your body produce an adequate supply of breast milk. All right, so let's keep watching.
And the second salad mistake that you're making is that you're using a low-fat dressing. If a salad dressing is going to be low in fat, it's inherently going to be high in sugar. And sugar is one of the biggest stimulators of our storing hormone insulin. So especially if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, this is a huge mistake. Not to mention you're totally missing out on the additional satiety factors when you're using a high-quality fat source instead. Just like protein, fat is really important to help prevent sugar cravings and snacking between meals because fat causes the body to secrete the satiety hormone cholecystokinin or CCK. So if you're using a low-fat dressing, you're really missing out on this. You can go really simple with this and just use like olive oil and lemon juice, but there are a lot of really great low sugar, high quality fat options that you can buy in store now, but I'll have some of my favorites linked down in the description below so you guys can check those out.
Okay, so definitely agree that we should be including in more healthy fats into our diet. However, the one thing that she talks about that is I have a beef with is that she kind of is indicating that the storing hormone insulin is like a bad thing. It's like people are like, oh no, like insulin's so bad. Why is everyone so afraid of insulin? So insulin's super important because it does a bunch of different things in our bodies. In fact, we would literally die without insulin. Insulin is extremely important for metabolism. Insulin helps convert glucose into energy, and then also it helps to route it to different areas throughout our body. So it helps provide our body with energy. Without insulin, our bodies would literally starve for energy and then be forced to find energy elsewhere. So unless you're a diabetic, you really don't have to worry about those insulin spikes. Of course, that's not to say like you should just eat a bag of sugar for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that type of thing. No, we should be eating a balanced diet, of course, but I don't want you to think that having using a potentially low-fat dressing or a dressing that has a little bit, some sugar in it, it's not the end of the world. So bottom line is that insulin is completely normal. Okay, so moving on.
Okay, the third mistake is that you're adding croutons, which is essentially just crunchy refined bread pieces. Outside of sugar, bread is going to be one of those biggest stimulators of our storing hormone insulin. A really good hack that I have for a crouton option that isn't croutons is using oven baked Parmesan. So there's a lot of companies making this now. There's like Parm Wisps, I think, and then like Parm Crisps, all these words that are like kind of hard to say multiple times in a row. But if you're looking for like that crouton crunch option while still working toward your weight loss goal, then this is a really great simple hack. So I'll have those Parm Wisps or Crisps or all of those different options also linked down in the description below.
Okay, so adding croutons to your salad, is that a really big deal? I mean, how many croutons are you gonna be adding to your salad? Like seriously. So like a handful of croutons is not going to kill you. In fact, I actually looked up the nutrition of one of the popular brands out there of croutons, and a 2 tablespoon serving of croutons, which really isn't that much, is only 4 grams of carbohydrate. So even if you double that, I mean, 8 grams of carbohydrate, again, that's not a significant amount of carbohydrate. And I want to add to this is that carbohydrates in our diets actually help also to suppress that hunger hormone ghrelin as well. So carbohydrates are in fact an appetite suppressant. So having a little bit of carbohydrate, some croutons, whatever the case is on your salad is not a big deal. All right, so let's move on.
Okay, the fourth mistake is you're just not adding enough fats. Like I mentioned, fat is really important for achieving satiety. This is why I'm always using things like avocado and pine nuts and olive to add in some really high quality fats to boost satiety and prevent sugar cravings and work toward that weight loss goal. Plus, just not feeling hungry after lunch is always a good thing.
All right, so not adding enough fat. So again, I already agree with that. However, again, just adding a few pieces of information to what she said is that fats are also extremely beneficial for helping our bodies to absorb those fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. So adding fats to salad, of course, is an amazing thing to do. She also mentioned that, fats do, again, help suppress our appetite a little bit. But I also have to say is that, again, protein as well as fiber and even carbohydrate will also help suppress our appetites as well. So another thing to add is just that fiber, which you get from all those leafy greens and all the vegetables in that salad, as well as the protein. Those are extremely beneficial to helping us feel fuller for longer. All right, moving on.
Okay, the fifth mistake is that you're adding sweet potato. There's a time and a place for sweet potato if you're not very carbohydrate sensitive. A lunchtime salad is not it. The high amounts of starches in sweet potato can really trigger a lot of that insulin release, which then tends to trigger a lot of those sugar cravings right after. Plus, if you're really looking to maximize fat burning, you'll want to limit those insulin spiking foods anyway and swap them for those that don't greatly spike insulin. So instead of having the sweet potato, you can use something like avocado or olives, because it turns out high quality fats do not greatly stimulate that storing hormone insulin.
All right, so touching on the whole, not adding sweet potato to your salads. So first off, again, I think a big, I don't know, what the word that comes to mind or the description for this video, or at least parts of the video, is like fear mongering. She's picking out these little things about various nutrients and foods and everything, and is saying like you should not be consuming these things because you're gonna gain weight. Okay, I don't agree with that that mindset or that approach to nutrition and diet. She did mention there's a time and a place for sweet potatoes. And I have a little story. Me and my friend April, we, back in the day, in our days back in high school, we would go to a local restaurant, the Yum Yum Tree, and they had these sweet potato medallions. And with it, they gave you a little tiny cup of caramel sauce. And that was the best thing in the world, dipping those little sweet potato medallions in that caramel sauce. Oh my gosh. Mwah. So that being said, there is certainly a time and a place for sweet potatoes. Moving on. So one of my tips is, again, well, first off, is that don't be afraid to add carbohydrates to your salad, number one. But also, whatever carbohydrates you are eating, try to consume more complex carbohydrates and consume less simple carbohydrates. So our simple carbohydrates are typically refined, they're sugary, there's no fiber in them, and they cause those blood sugar spikes in our bodies. And they don't help with satiety, so they basically cause your appetite to increase later on. So they actually lead you to feel hungry sooner. Complex carbohydrates are pretty much the opposite. They are nutrient dense, and they're also high in fiber. They actually prevent those blood sugar spikes from happening, and they help leave you feeling fuller for longer. Sweet potatoes are considered a complex carbohydrate. However, I will say that they are known to increase your blood sugar levels a little bit more compared to other complex carbohydrates. However, there's so many good benefits to sweet potatoes that I don't want that to scare you away from eating them. I want you to include them in your diet if you like them. So some of those good things about sweet potatoes include, again, the fiber. So they're higher in fiber, which we know helps our GI system, helps with our bowel movements, and also helps our gut microbiome be as healthy as possible. They're also super high in vitamin A. They're also high in manganese. And manganese is actually associated with blood sugar regulation. So that's a great thing. So again, we don't want to be scared of sweet potatoes. So manganese also helps with protein and amino acid digestion and utilization, as well as the metabolism of cholesterol and carbohydrates. And sweet potatoes are also very, very high in antioxidants, which is super beneficial for promoting anti-inflammatory responses in our bodies. All right, guys, so what's the biggest take home to all of this? Number one, again, don't be afraid of carbohydrates. You need them. They're healthy. They're good for you. Insulin is not bad or scary. You actually need it. It's completely necessary. And another thing is, going back to the title of this video, is that these 5 mistakes are going to be causing you to gain weight. I want to tell you that your weight is literally just a number on a scale. It's completely meaningless. It says absolutely nothing about your health or your body composition. It really doesn't say anything about what's going on inside of you. So try not to dwell on that number on the scale. So my tips are just to focus on eating a variety of foods, eating a balanced diet, trying to, again, eat more complex carbohydrates and less simple carbohydrates. Eat the rainbow, and also don't restrict your diet in any way. You know, if you want to have a Starbucks latte once in a while, if you want to have some Ben & Jerry's ice cream once in a while, go for it. Treat yourself, because if you don't treat yourself, that urge, that need, that desire to want to eat that food item is going to build up, and that's going to just lead to you binging. Because I am certainly guilty of that myself. Another thing is to, when it comes to weight loss in general, I mean, diet does have a little bit to play with that, but the other thing is exercise. You know, I think we have it in our minds that too, like you have to just like jog 100 miles a day to help burn, you know, burn calories and lose some fat on our bodies or whatever. But no, I think you should also focus on doing like weightlifting activities as well, because as we build up our muscle strength, the muscles within our body, muscles use a lot of energy just to maintain themselves. Definitely incorporating strength training would be very beneficial to any weight loss goal. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you like these kind of videos, let me know, because I'm happy to continue doing them once in a while. I definitely enjoy critiquing nutrition information and making sure that you all have the correct information and the correct mindset and all that when it comes to nutrition and food. So please let me know down below. And also if you guys like, again, anything motherhood related, nutrition, motherhood, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate the support. Definitely want to continue growing my community here on YouTube. And also if you like the video, hit that like button down below as well. I'd really appreciate it. But again, thanks for watching. Stay cool, be strong, and I will see you guys again in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.